So if you're wanting to get yourself started on the path to financial freedom, then you need to start at square one, and I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can change your mentality, because that is the absolute foundation. And this may come as a shock to some of you, but you're going to have to change. If you take a good look at yourself and you say, I'm not where I want to be, I want to create wealth, become financially free, maybe even earn enough to quit my 9-to-5 job, and now you're just sitting down and you found this video, well, guess what? All the things you've been doing up to this point have not been enough, so you have to change and try something new. Learn new things. And all these gurus that are telling you that it's easy, I'm going to be completely honest with you, it's not. It's just not. But if you really want to change and hit your goals, I'm going to give you 3 things that you must change in order to prepare yourself to become financially free. And that brings us to the first thing, which is you have to trick that inner voice. Now, I know this sounds really cliche, but think of this like the stereotypical angel and demon on your shoulder whispering in your ear. Everyone has this, it's a conscience. Just a lot of us have become numb to this voice, and we're simply chasing that next dopamine hit and rush of happiness. We want those quick fixes to this long-lasting problems, and by feeding into that monster, it will consume you. If you're overweight, you know that you shouldn't eat that burger, but you do anyway because it makes you feel better in the moment about your weight. If you're making less money than you want, you make sure that you buy that new pair of shoes when they drop, or the newest iPhone, because guess what? It gives you satisfaction now. But a lot of people don't understand is that you can use this sneaky little bastard to your advantage, because it's really easy to do small things. The amazing thing about small changes over time is they compound and grow into this huge change. So if you've been wanting to read more about finance, then instead of making a huge change and telling yourself, hey, I'm gonna start reading a book a day, how about just start saying, I'm gonna read a page of a book a day. 1 page, that's it. And what you'll start to realize is that same little voice that nudges you to keep spending money when you shouldn't will start saying, well, I mean, I'm here already reading, why not read 2 pages? And the next thing that you know, you're reading a book a week and you didn't even notice it. Making big changes to overcome obstacles is great, but just honestly, it's unrealistic for most people to stick with. But small changes consistently is something very easy for most anyone to accomplish. And by doing this, you're getting a rush and a dopamine hit from the process and not the end goal, which will keep you going over time. Which brings us to the second point, which is you have to become a lifelong learner. Now, this rides along with the first point. Becoming financially free is forever changing, with new ways, ideas, some good, some not so good, and a key of your change is being able to decide for yourself what's good and what's not, which falls into becoming a lifelong learner. An amazing book, Atomic Habits, points out a great idea about those small changes becoming huge. So basically the concept is that in a 365-day year, if you try to make yourself just 1% better every day, then by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than you were at the beginning of the year. And 1% is relative. If you have no knowledge of finance, 1% could simply be reading a chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Or if you're well versed with years of learning, it may be more complex philosophy of the nature of people. Whatever it is, strive to make yourself a minimum of 1% better every day. Read an article, read a couple of chapters of a book, watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, whatever it is to strive for that 1% return, and you'll be astonished with the results. And back to point 1, I know some of you are already thinking, well, this change is hard. It's not. There is no way that it would take you more than 10 minutes to read a single page of a book, article, or listen to a part of a podcast. Wake up 10 minutes earlier, do it in the last 10 minutes before you go to sleep, make the change. Which brings me to the hardest and the last point. And honestly, I think it's something a lot of people overlook in the beginning, and it just consumes them, which is you have to embrace your fear of failing. You know why sometimes you get anxious when you're thinking about starting something new? Well, some of you may be feeling that now, just simply listening to me trying to get you to change. That's not bad anxiety. That's your body letting you know that it's excited. So embrace it. Don't think of it as something evil and scary. Everyone has fear of failure. If they say they don't, they're flat out lying. How you can handle this makes you better and you grow better. When I started out, I fell into the stereotypical pitfall that a lot of people do, and I'll make separate videos on this because I think that it's something that a lot of people get wrapped up in. And I would say that I became a thinker and not a doer. And what I mean by that is I started learning about financial freedom. The first 2 books that I read really gave me all the insight and knowledge that I needed to begin investing and building my ladder out of the rat race. But I didn't act on that knowledge for about 6 months. Why? Because I didn't embrace the fear. I thought I wasn't ready. I thought I needed to know more, be smarter, know every little thing that I could before starting out. And I did that because I was terrified of failing. And guess what? I still failed along the way. A great saying about this is the only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. I am, of course, not telling you to be reckless and throw your hard-earned money at anything, but you can't just remain stationary and learn. You have to put your newfound knowledge to the test. And again, remember 1% better a day rule. Take it slow. Action for you may be simply opening up your first Roth IRA and putting $20 in. Just keep it moving forward day by day. And if you truly trust the process and embrace these 3 things, you will break out of your old self. Take your first steps toward financial freedom. But now you have that knowledge. These 3 things that you must do that will change your life forever. And honestly, at this point, if you stuck around, I'm challenging you. For a month, take these 3 points to heart. And for a month, every day, try to make yourself at least 1% better. You will be blown away with yourself even after a month. And if you take the challenge, bookmark the video, come back, comment, and tell me what you've done. And if you're looking for help along the way, then subscribe. I'm going to be walking you through everything, step by step, down to the basics of what you need to do, investing, mentality, personal development, the works. If you have specific questions, then comment down below. I'd be more than happy to do a Q&A style for anyone. Which brings me to my next video, which I'll be showing you guys the easiest way to get some of the best books on financial literacy free. So check out that video coming out soon.